wait! Leave Ginny and Princess alone!
Oh, get it, Pee-wee! Thought you wouldn't see me again, didn't you?
Well, what are you doing here? What do you want from us?
Father wants both of you dead, and I never disobey Father.
But your father's dead. Jimmy saw him. All what's left of him.
Gotcha! Oh, don't worry. It'll all be over in a flash. Who wants to be first? I'll go
Jimmy,
first.
I'll go first.
Oh, where's a hanky when you need one? No problemo. We'll let Betsy decide!
What did you just say? Her maiden name is Standish. She used to talk about her twin sister Faith all the time. The last time I saw her, she was on her way to Boston.
He knows me, Sam. There's no other way he could know these things about me.
I know a lot more about you than that, Grace. We were married.
Stop saying that. She is my wife, and I won't allow you to manipulate her with your lies.
They're not lies. Look, I understand you want to protect Grace. You love her. But so do I. And I loved her long before you ever came into her life.
Please come in, my children.
I'm worried about my sister. I don't even know where she is.
I don't understand why she ran out of the church. I mean, she's making it look as if Gwen and the tabloids are telling the truth.
You don't think that Teresa sent that email about Ethan's paternity, do you?
No, of course not. I just wish that she hadn't run out when Gwen accused her of knowing Ethan wasn't a Crane and not telling him.
Yeah, tell me about it. Makes her look guilty as hell. Sorry, Father. It's just...
You're forgiven. This is proving to be a most unusual wedding in every respect. I was prepared to perform a double wedding ceremony.
It was Teresa's dream.
Under the circumstances, you have an important decision to make. Do the two of you still want to get married today or not?
Why did you turn off the feed to the church?
Because I can't stand the suspense. If your harebrained scheme to stop Ethan and Teresa from getting married prevents Louise from slipping that ring on Sheridan's finger, Father is going to force me to murder my own sister in cold blood.
Julian, don't worry. I'm sure that Louise and Sheridan are going to go ahead with their wedding in spite of Teresa's misfortune. Look, I'm going to call Gwen and see what's going on.
Teresa, stop! Listen, I need you to help me make sense of all this. Why did you just run out of the church?
Oh, God, I hope they can get through this, Chad.
So do I, man. I don't think there's much of a chance at this point.
But I know Teresa did not send that email.
Oh, maybe not, Whitney, but she did know that Ethan wasn't a Crane, and she still never told him. I mean, does she think I liked having to tell him that the email came from her computer?
At that point, Chad, you had no choice. Ethan asked you point blank. You had to tell him the truth.
So what happens now?
I have no idea, but I'm having an awful feeling that if they don't get married today, they never will.
Okay, so I'm in the church courtyard right now, and Ethan has just run after Teresa, but I'm too far away to hear what's going on.
Well, what does it look like they're saying?
I don't know, but it looks deadly serious. Oh, relax, Mother. The wedding has been put on hold, and there's no way that Ivy or Ethan or anyone is going to find out that we actually sent the email from Teresa's computer. I think Ethan is breaking up with her right now, and I'm going to be there to pick up the pieces.
What Gwen said in there, I know it isn't true. I know you didn't know all along that I wasn't a Crane. You didn't lie to me, did you, Teresa?
What do you think you're doing? That's mine.
Who are you talking to?
None of your damn business.
You know, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Excuse me? You're the one who has a daughter who's a disgrace.
Not another word. I couldn't hear what you were saying into your phone, but it is clear that you were gloating about Teresa's wedding coming to a halt.
And I'm supposed to apologize for that? I don't think so. Frankly, I'm thrilled that Ethan has been saved from making the biggest mistake of his life.
How dare you assume the worst of my daughter? She did not send that email to the newspaper. That story is a cruel lie.
Oh, really, Pilar? Then how come the tip they received came from Teresa's computer? It has her address on it. The one I set up when I gave your daughter her own laptop.
I don't care. I know my daughter did not send it.
I noticed you're not denying that Teresa knew about Ethan's paternity before he did. Everyone knows that you're Ivy's one confidant. Obviously, she got the truth from you so she could steal Ethan away from me and marry him. Was she ever gonna tell him the truth? Somehow, I really doubt it.
You are so wrong.
I'm sorry, Pilar. But the truth is out. If Teresa didn't send the email, then who did?
That's a very good question.
I need to know the truth, whatever it is. Did you lie to me? Did you know all along that I wasn't a Crane?
Ethan, I never sent that email. That story was a complete fabrication.
I better go get Luis.
I'm gonna see if I can talk some sense into Ethan.
Ethan, Chad, look, not now. This is between Teresa and me.
Just hear me out. You told me yourself that you've never loved anyone as much as you've loved Teresa. So what's it gonna be, man? Huh? And you know the kind of trash those newspapers print just to sell copies? You're gonna believe a tabloid over the woman that you want to spend the rest of your life with?
Teresa, you didn't answer my question. Now please, just tell me. When did you find out I wasn't a Crane?
The last thing I want to do is pressure you.
I know you have another wedding scheduled.
Yes.
I just wish I knew that Teresa was okay.
I'm sure she's fine. She's probably explaining everything to Ethan right now, and they'll be ready to go on with the ceremony in just a bit. Would it be all right with you, Father, if we go ahead and do it all together then?
I don't know why not.
Then it's settled. We'll wait until Ethan and Teresa work things out and then go ahead with the double wedding.
Yeah? You sure you're all right with that?
Of course.
I love you.
I believe this is my cue to exit.
You know, I mean that. I really do love you. Most women, well, they wouldn't wait. I mean, not even an hour or two.
Most brides aren't marrying the man of their dreams. Luis, come quick. Teresa needs you.
Noma, wait. What about your father?
My father? What about my father?
He's rolling right out of the front door right now.
What? What the?
Take a look.
Oh, how dare you treat father like a common football!
What should we do with a new princess? There's only one thing to do. Punt, punt. Run, Timmy, run!
No, I don't remember you. How could we have been married?
It's easy. Because you weren't. He's making this whole thing up for some twisted reason I haven't figured out yet.
Now I know why you didn't recognize me when you first saw me. What happened in Boston? How did you lose your memory?
It was a fire. It was an awful...
Don't say anything more, Grace. He doesn't need to know more than he already does.
I beg to differ. As her husband,
That is
every
enough!
right to
I
know
will
what
not
has
allow
taken
you
us
to
apart.
upset my wife anymore.
Wait, I have it figured out. You have got me mistaken for my identical sister Faith. But she died a few years ago.
No, Grace. You're the one. You're the one I married. You're the woman I fell in love with. Whether this chump likes it or not. You've got to believe me. I searched for years for you. I'd completely given up hope of ever finding you until I spotted that magazine article about your house being swallowed into the ground. When I saw your photo, I dropped everything and I rushed to Harmony.
Well, why didn't you pick up the phone? Or try to contact her like a normal person? No. You've been spying on her for days, scaring the hell out of her.
I'm sorry. I was afraid.
Afraid of what?
Of being rejected by the woman I loved who had already left me once. Of finding out that she'd forgotten all about me and moved on with her life. Of this, I guess. But being locked up is nothing in comparison to realizing that you've forgotten everything we ever had. Everything we ever did.
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize to him, Grace.
Try, Grace. Try to remember. I know you have amnesia, but try to think back. Try to remember what we had. We were so close.
No closer.
Hello? Police? There's a psycho! Get away from there! Get away! Mama's going to pull a Henry VIII on Timmy and Debbie and chop their heads off if they don't get back up.
We'll get more than back up if you call the police. So far, we've been lucky that nobody has connected me with my blockbuster bestseller. But once the police come, they'll put two and two together in a flash, and suddenly we'll find ourselves on the Today Show, or worse. Now, as much as I'd love to meet Matt and Katie, we don't want the whole world knowing I'm a witch and you're a talking doll, now do we?
We never thought of that. But what's Tabby going to do to get rid of Norma?
Think of something. Maybe I won't have to. Maybe the big old girl has realized that we outsmarted her and she's decided to go home.
Oh, Timmy hopes she took that moldy old head with her.
Oh, don't worry, lad. I have a feeling she doesn't go anywhere without him.
Oh.
You know what you have to do, Norma.
Yes, Father. I won't let you down. I'm going to kill them. Kill them. Kill them.
You seem to know a great deal about the tabloid headline when we were all in the church. How is that possible, Gwen?
I love how you're trying to turn this around and make it my fault when Teresa is the one who stabbed Ethan in the back.
Oh, Gwen's right, Pilar. How dare you blame her when we have all seen proof that the email exposing Ethan's paternity came directly from Teresa's computer?
That does not mean my daughter sent it.
Oh, spare me! I understand that you are loath to accept your daughter's treachery, but even you should be able to see that this wedding had to be stopped. Just thank God that Ethan found out in time.
Still, he must be so hurt right now.
Oh, you're right, Gwen. Let's go. Ethan needs us.
Answer me. Did you lie to me? Did you know all along that I wasn't a crane?
Ethan, please don't ask me these questions. Just remember how much we love each other and just let it go.
Jack, what's going on?
Ethan keeps asking her when she knew the truth about his paternity, but so far she hasn't admitted anything.
Well, why should she? My sister didn't do anything wrong. You guys don't think that she sent that email to the tabloid about Ethan being Sam's son, do you?
No, Louise, of course not.
Right. Now, I don't know how her email got on that thing, but there's no way that she could have sent it. Now, she didn't even find out that Ethan was Sam Bennett's son until Ethan found out himself at the engagement party. You can go see if she's all right.
No, don't.
What?
Let them work this out on their own.
But she's
I know
obviously
you love your sister, but this is between them.
We talked about who else knew besides my mother and Pilar that I was Sam Bennett's son. You said you had no idea. I need to hear that that wasn't a lie. I need to hear the truth, and I need to hear it from you. Did you know?
Of course she knew, Ethan. She just didn't feel it was expedient to let you in on her little secret.
Gwen, this is between Teresa and me.
Fine, don't take my word for it. But since the cat seems to have quite a grip on Teresa's tongue at the moment, why don't you let her eyes tell you what her lying mouth can't? Look at them closely, Ethan. They'll tell you the truth.
Oh my God. You knew I wasn't a crane.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Would Tabby like Timmy to pour over more Timmy?
Well, that would be a treat. On the other hand, I'm not sure that we should be downing martinis until we're absolutely certain that Norma is out of our hair for good. Maybe I can crack the door a tad and take a peek. She's gone, make mine a double. Oh.
Oh no! She's been there the whole time!
Oh, demon save us, demon save us.
Forget it, Princess. There's no way out!
Not so, Tim. Follow me.
Out the basement!
Are you coming or not?
You can do it, Grace. You can break through the walls of amnesia.
I'm trying.
Remember Nantucket? We went there on a honeymoon. It rained the whole of the first week. You were so disappointed. And then the morning of the day we were supposed to leave, we woke up to the most beautiful sunrise. You called it the most glorious dawn you'd ever seen. We walked on the beach and you picked up these shells. And you said you'd keep them forever. You said you'd never forget that day for as long as you lived.
Well, then why don't I remember?
Try, Grace. You can't just have to concentrate.
Enough. I'm not gonna let you upset my wife more than you already have. Come on, Grace, let's go.
I'm not lying. I'm not lying. She's my wife. You're my wife, Grace.
Yes, I knew, Ethan. I knew you weren't a crane before you found out.
How? And how is that possible? I defended you. I told everyone that you couldn't have known before I did because we found out at the same time.
That's what she wanted you to think, Ethan. That's why she lied to you all these months.
That wasn't enough for you, was it, Teresa? You weren't content until you had exposed the most intimate fact of my life to the sordid tabloid press.
Can't believe Teresa knew that Ethan was Sam's son.
She admitted it.
But why didn't she tell him the truth?
Don't worry, nobody saw us.
I was afraid of this. Sheridan's not wearing the ring. Her wedding's been sidelined along with the other one. I have to get things back on track.
Well, you do what you must, but I've got to go check on Gwen.
What are you two doing here?
When did you find out that I wasn't a Crane? How long before I read it in the tabloid?
Months, Ethan. I knew for months before you found out, but I swear to you, I didn't send the proof to that tabloid.
How did you find out?
It was by accident. I mean, Mama held Mrs. Crane's personal papers at home in our closet for safekeeping, and I found it in a suitcase by chance.
Well, but I asked you point blank if you knew before I did, and you said no. Why didn't you tell me the truth?
Because I didn't want to hurt you. Being a Crane meant so much to you that at that time I thought there was no reason that you had to find out.
But what about later, after I knew? Why didn't you tell me then?
Because I was scared that you would blame me for this story getting out. I was afraid I would lose you, Ethan, and I couldn't face that.
Ethan, it's true. Teresa wanted to tell you so badly. She was just scared that she was going to lose you.
Ethan, remember how we talked about all those what-ifs? Well, this is the big one, man. You said you'd be able to forgive someone if they knew the truth, but didn't tell you how to love.
Only if it wasn't the person who stabbed me in the back with the tabloid.
And that wasn't me, Ethan. I don't know how that happened, but I swear to God above, that wasn't me. I'd never do that because I love you.
I thought love was about trust. And if you trusted me, why didn't you tell me the truth?
I wish I had. I wish that every day for the rest of my life. I am so sorry, Ethan. I did a terrible thing. And maybe you'll never be able to forgive me, but I am begging you, please realize that I did what I did out of love.
Well, okay, folks. Looks to me like the double wedding's back on. Now, what do you say we all go back into the church?
Don't believe her, Ethan. What she did to you has nothing to do with love.
Hurry, Timmy, hurry! Timmy, Brian, and Fred, oh, let's carry him. What's Tabby waiting for? Timmy thought Timmy and Tabby were going to go down there.
Not us, Timmy. I want to trick Norma into visiting our friends in the basement.
Oh, Timmy likes that idea.
Our friends appear to be resting at the moment, but I think they'll be very excited at having Norma as a guest, don't you? Now, we've got to figure out a way how to get her down those stairs.
Leave it to Timmy, Princess. Leave it all to Timmy. She's coming! She's coming! Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear! Whatever shall Timmy and Tabby do? The basement! The basement! It's the only safe place for Timmy and his princess to hide from that evil, wicked Norma and her headless father.
Yes, you're right. We better get down there lickety-split. How fortunate that we have a cellar. She'll never find us down there.
You think you're so clever, don't you? Well, Father and I are going to show you just how smart you are.
Sam, why would he make it up? And why would he just pop up out of nowhere and claim to be my husband?
Because he's a liar. Look, I don't know what game he's playing yet, but I know he's playing one.
But he knew about my twin sister, Faith. I mean, we didn't even know about her until a few years ago. Yet he knew everything. Sam, what if what he says is true? What if I had a whole another life with another man? Why can't I remember?
Because it's not true. It can't be.
I warned you to stay away, and now I catch you sneaking around like two thieves in the night. Why are you here?
Well,
Like it or not, Pilar, Sheridan is my sister, my only sibling, and she's getting married.
Please. I don't believe for a moment that you came here to wish her well. No, I think your presence here has something to do with Teresa.
oh, is something wrong?
You know very well there is. In fact, I'm quite certain that it was you Gwen was gloating on the phone with earlier. In fact, I have to think perhaps you two are involved in this whole tabloid mess.
What tabloid mess? Jeez.
Oh, my. Well, I can see why you're so upset. I had no idea. Of course, it doesn't surprise me in the least. I mean, if Ethan had just married my daughter when he was supposed to, he wouldn't be having his heart broken by Teresa's duplicity.
How dare you? My daughter had nothing to do with exposing Ethan's paternity.
Well, one need not believe everything one reads in the newspaper, but it is all right there, Pilar.
It's a lie. One that I think Rebecca and her daughter know all about.
Well, even if you're not curious, I am. If Teresa didn't send this letter to the tabloid, then why did she scan it on her computer so that it could later be used against you? Did you do that out of love too, Teresa?
Find out anything else about David?
Well, that's not what I'm looking for. I ran a nationwide search on every story that was written about us after our house was sucked underground. I wanted to see what the press had written about our family, well, namely you. And it seems one of the big news agencies had mentioned your mysterious past, including the fact that you were stricken with amnesia after I rescued you from the fire. It even mentioned your twin sister, Faith.
So you mean that David...
The reason David knows all about you isn't because he was married to you. It's because he read it in the paper. It's all right here. David is nothing but a con artist. And now he's gonna have to admit to it. You don't have to come.
No, I want to. I need to hear for myself, be sure that he's lying. I find it very interesting that Gwen knew so much about the email to the tabloid.
Please, Pilar. This is not about my daughter. It's about yours finally being exposed as the conniving little liar I've always known she was.
Now, hold on a minute, Gwen. Who said anything about Teresa scanning my mother's letter to Sam Bennett into her computer? We don't even know how it got there.
Well, why don't you ask her?
Inquiring minds want to know.
Although I don't expect anything even close to an honest answer out of her.
Look, that's enough from both of you. Look, I want nothing more than to get this behind us and go back into the church and get married.
And then let's.
But I think it would be nicer if we start the wedding without all these unfounded accusations against you. So just answer the question, so they'll let this go once and for all. So did or did you not scan the letter into your computer?
Yes, I did. After I found it, I put it on my computer.
But why? Well, you knew it was a huge secret. You knew you shouldn't have seen it. Why did you want to put that kind of information in your computer?
Isn't it obvious? So she could email it to the tabloid where it would have the biggest explosion. I bet they paid you a lot of money for such a hot story.
No, Gwen. They didn't pay me anything because I didn't send it. Ethan, you have to believe me.
All right, that's enough from the both of you, all right? Why don't you just leave my sister alone? Huh?
Now, Julian, I'm having it out with Pilar.
I don't care. Sheridan's by herself for the moment. If I don't convince her to go ahead with her own wedding ceremony, Father's gonna make me kill her in some other way. Here you are.
What are you doing here?
Well, I couldn't stay away. Do you have a moment?
Not really.
I don't want to upset Teresa. But Gwen has a point. I mean, I want to understand why you scanned that letter into your computer. What were you planning to do with it?
Norma's gone for good, and so's her daddy.
Boy, the friends in the basement sound like they're having fun with Norma.
Why not? Noxious Norma's quite a prize to me.
Jimmy's never heard the demons sound like that before.
That's because they've never met a brute like Norma before. Just pride her big old boots on her smelly old feet, and they'll toss us up for us at any minute. I'm back! Even the basement couldn't finish her off.
You came back. So you remember?
How could she remember something that never happened?
But it did. How else would I have remembered everything else about Grace's past?
By reading any one of a number of newspapers. It's all here, Hastings. Anybody could have found out the things you knew about Grace. It's over.
I never read any of this in a news report.
Liar!
Listen, I don't expect him to believe me, but somewhere inside, some part of you must know that I'm not making this up.
You don't have one bit of verifiable proof that you even knew Grace. Not even a picture. Which is pretty lame for a professional photographer,
I
if you ask
already
me.
told you I lost all my possessions at sea.
My wife has been through enough in her life without some psycho stalker showing up out of the blue to torture her about the past she can't remember. You've conned the wrong guy, buddy. Now it's time to pay for your mistake.
Now you believe he's lying?
Yeah. No. I don't know. I don't know what to think anymore.
It's okay. All right, it's over.
What if it's not? What if our trouble's just beginning?
You're my wife, Grace. Sooner or later, I'm gonna get you back.
Rebecca, where did Julian go?
Well, if I were you, I'd be more concerned about Teresa. What is she gonna do now that everyone knows that the only way she could entrap Ethan was by using deception? Of course, what do you expect from the daughter of a servant? Oh.
I came here to beg your forgiveness for my role in trying to keep you and Luis apart.
I don't believe you.
Your skepticism is well-deserved, but I've come to realize the error of my ways. I know now that you'll never be happy until you marry Luis. Tell me you're not thinking of postponing your own joy. Tell me you're still planning to marry Luis today, that I'll get to watch him slip that ring on your finger.
What are you up to?
It just doesn't make sense. When did you scan that letter into your computer? What day?
I don't remember the date, Ethan, but it was right after your engagement party to Gwen.
My engagement party?
Yes, I mean, I thought that you didn't love me. I thought that I'd lost you.
You were so upset by Ethan's engagement to me that you were planning on using it against him, which is exactly what you did.
You little snake!
Teresa, was that it? Is that why you didn't destroy the letter when you found it? Is that why you scanned it into your computer?
Ethan, I didn't know what I was gonna do. But I would never hurt you. I would never send that letter to the tabloid.
Look, Teresa, it is time for the full truth. And were you going to get back at me because you thought I'd chosen Gwen?